Are you in a verbally abusive situation? Are you wondering what the hallmarks are of verbal abuse? Do you wonder if the person who says things to you is hurting you? This person might be a friend, a parent, a partner, your boss, your sibling, even your adult child. Verbal abuse can cause enormous physical and psychological, emotional and spiritual damage to an individual. If you're being abused, you need to know, and you need to do something to protect yourself. Today I'm going to teach you the 5 things you have to ask yourself honestly in the authentic place in your heart that will help you identify whether you're being verbally abused. And when you know, you'll be able to make a decision about what to do with it. Verbal abuse is like Chinese water torture. You feel this Chinese water torture where they would hold somebody's head still and then drop water, dink, 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 on the forehead over and over again for hours. And the person who was suffering from it would start to wonder if perhaps there was a giant hole being eroded in their forehead. That would be the sensation that they would have. It would drive them crazy. The same is true with verbal abuse. It doesn't usually start with huge blown up whatever. It usually starts with little things that grow and grow and grow. So if you want to take your pulse right now to find out if you're being verbally abused, there are 5 questions you need to ask in the quiet stillness inside you to help you make that decision. The first thing is, when you're around this person, do you feel like you have to walk on eggshells? Are you very careful in what you say and do so you don't set them off and start a tirade? Person never has to lay a finger on you. Verbal abuse could be very subtle. It could be sarcastic. It could be yelling. It could be little tiny insults. It could be disrespecting you when you're in public. It could even be a look like, what do you... that kind of thing. It doesn't matter. If it makes you feel bad and it makes you change your behavior, then you might be in a verbally abusive relationship. The next thing to ask yourself is, are you free to be real? Can you be yourself with this person? Or are there huge areas or even small areas of your life that are important that you're not able to express with this person? Like, they might say, you know, you're a great person, but you laugh too much, so you don't laugh around them. I don't like the way you sing, so you don't sing around them. These might seem like minor things, but these are other people clipping your wings. So ask yourself, am I free to be really who I am? I don't mean bad things. I don't mean misbehave, but are you free to be real with this person, your authentic, true, genuine self? The third question is, do you require recovery after you've been around this person? I had a friend who worked for a verbally abusive boss. A few times a year, it would be her turn to get a barrage of insults and screaming, and how could you do that, you idiot? All these terrible things. And she would feel bad about herself for weeks. And I would say to her, why do you stay? And she said, well, because the rest of the time, it's somebody else's turn. But she was always being very cautious, so it wouldn't end up being her who was the victim of this man's outrageously immature rage and verbal barrage. Do you need time for recovery after you're around this person? Next thing is, ask yourself this. If a stranger were watching the interaction in a movie, what would they think? Would they think, oh, poor you? Or would they think, you deserved it? They probably wouldn't think you deserved it. You might goad the person who verbally abuses you. That's your problem. But if someone's losing their temper and becoming insulting or rude or cruel to you, you might be being verbally abused. And the last thing is this. Imagine yourself 5 years in the future. Do you see yourself with this relationship being happier, being more peaceful, being more productive, having more fun, living life the way you love to live it? Or do you see yourself increasingly shrinking to accommodate this tyrant's perspective on who you should be and how you should act? These 5 questions, if you answered yes to any of them, it could be you're being verbally abused. Only you can decide. The consequences of long-term sustained verbal abuse are diminished self-esteem, reduced work performance, inability to be a good parent, especially if that person that's abusing you is your partner, physical exhaustion, adrenal failure, heart conditions, breathing challenges, other physical problems. There are hundreds of fallouts from the stress of being the victim of verbal abuse. Consider for yourself if you are a victim, and if you are, get help. My name is Wendy Keller. I work with people who have been suffering from terrible abuses, challenges, difficulties, and who are going through a hard time in their life. I hope you found this helpful. Thank you for watching.